My staples. Oh, I basically eat the same thing every day. So it's pretty easy to say. Um, for breakfast, I have coffee. I usually don't have breakfast until I usually have my coffee at like 8:15, and then that usually holds me over for till breakfast at like 9:30, 10, and then I'll have my smoothie, which I have triple zero Chobani yogurt, so good, black cherry, a banana, some protein powder, tons of spinach in there, blueberries, and like 3 strawberries or so. And then I just load it up with water. Have that for breakfast. Lunch is usually the most random thing in the world. But it's usually like an apple and some type of protein or a salad with protein. I'm a big kale and spinach girl, so I have that. But I usually get pretty creative. My lunches are kind of weird. It's sometimes whatever's in the fridge, I just throw stuff together and, and mix it. And then dinner, I've actually been a lot more fortunate while I'm home. My dinners are definitely better than when when I'm in Chicago. My dinners when I'm away and I have to cook for myself every night and I'm saving money to the max. It's usually like ground chicken, vegetables, and like rice or something, but I really don't have I usually get my carbs a lot from vegetables. I don't eat bread. I kind of don't really eat gluten. Not that it's really bad for you. I know it's like scientifically proven it's not bad for you, but it's just a thing. My mom's gluten free, so that's kind of something I inherit when I'm home. And I'm not a huge fan of like rice and things like that. So I get a lot of my carbs from vegetables and everything like that. So yeah, that's I'm pretty boring when it comes to food, but I am a sucker for ice cream. So that's my biggest weakness, I must say.
When did that start in terms of just acknowledging what you're putting into your body?
It definitely that like to the extent it is now, it was post college. In college, I mean, you're practicing so much, like there's so much energy being spent that you need to naturally like eat more and fuel your body more because you're expending so much energy. So I didn't really focus on like, you know, now I focus a lot on getting my macros and things like that. But in college, it was more so like, you know, generally my mentality was just like eat clean. I really stayed away from, like, I never bought anything in a bag, really, like cookies, chips. Like I stayed away from all that stuff. Easiest way to stay away from it was always just not buying it. And then for the most part, for everything else, I was kind of just eat clean, you know, have lean meats, make sure you're getting protein, make sure you're eating vegetables. I never had an issue with that. And I love fruit. So that was kind of, oh yeah, and fruit is where I get a lot of carbs from, but that was kind of my mentality there. But I wasn't as like intense with how much I was eating of it. I definitely learned that the portion control aspect of it in college in my later years, because I never really ate bad. Like it was more so in the earlier years, I was eating good, but I was just eating a lot more. Shout out to the dining halls. But in my later years, I kind of learned a little bit more about portion control, but I got a lot less. It's funny, like in my freshman and sophomore year, like I definitely paid more attention to food, which I feel like in a sense kind of had a negative effect on me because it was like always on my mind in an unhealthy way. Whereas, you know, my junior and senior year, I just shifted my mindset to thinking of it more like fuel and listening to my body. And you have people telling you, you know, like you have to eat this, you should be having pasta before games and chicken parm before games and things like that. And that was another thing where I learned, I was like, this isn't working for me. Like this might be working for this person, but this isn't working for me. So that was just another sense where like I just shifted a little bit of just my actions and how I kind of perceived food. And just because people were telling me, you know, that you needed this like carbo load, I just was like, simply not working for me. Let me try something else. And I realized that it did work. So that was kind of, you know, it fed into me feeling more confident in making my decisions with food.
Yeah, so